our next co-authors from Bangladesh. We are having a young lady with us who has been contributing in this volume 3. Let's welcome Ambassador Faiza Prodhan and please share with us how about your chapter in this book. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me and greetings. First of all, I want to wish this Yes You Can this third anniversary and all the beautiful leaders across the globe who are part of this journey and especially for this book launching. So it's very interesting when I was when Professor Lucas invited me to write that chapter for this book. I had only a couple of hours to write for that magazine and for the book. And the topic was like relationship matters and how we can resolve conflict and how it matters in our life to manage along with all these emotions. So I think even yesterday I was listening all the other co-authors, everyone actually reflect on this very core point. So I want to reflect it from very different aspect. What is relationship first? If you focus on that relationship before we know it, we actually have relationship. We actually come into this world through this relationship, through this bonding, before we even land our feet on this world. That relationship, first relationship we build based on that faith without even knowing, seeing and understanding. That is with that divine power. That's how I see it. So gradually, even if you get to know your parents, you already build a relationship when you are in the womb of your mothers and all the other relatives along with everyone. So you build different kind of relationship in a spiritual form and you get that emotional connection before actually you are there physically. So I think the faith is the fundamental fact of relationship, any relationship, and the baseline of relationship comes from all these aspects. So when you break it down, the worldly life, it's very different for physical form and solid form. It's required some sort of skills to understand all this analogy you go through. It's required more than one aspect to continue and build a good, healthy relationship, including with your parents, siblings, husband, wife, or any kind of relationship. So as yesterday, Mr. and Mrs. Lucas' story, Dr. Alka was explaining and sharing with all of us that, more than knowing about something and someone, the important part is to having that awareness within yourself, to having that capacity and ability to understand that you can acknowledge something without knowing. So if you go through by all the great philosophers, for example, Einstein, you will see how he quoted. It's very important that you understand the knowing. So by going through tons of books and history, you get to know information, but how much you are capable to get that essence. So I think people need to bring that awareness within themselves. First, they need to having that clear mind and open mind to understand their inner conversation within themselves. If you can have that, you can develop that skill. I think to follow through all these other skills, how to manage your emotions, how to communicate, how not to pile up those when you have disagreement or you are not on the same page. You might have a different opinion on something. I might have a different opinion on something, but it really doesn't mean we have to go against each other. We can find a common ground as we are talking about wellness thinking and supporting. Yes, we can. Learning. What is learning? Learning is not over the night. It's not possible over the night to learn. It's a process. It's a lifetime process. Every day we are learning. You cannot end learning. That's the magic of relationship. If when you're learning, that is also another kind of relationship with your knowledge, with your wisdom, with your inner wisdom. So relationship is the core fundamental of everything that as a human being we form it in this planet. So I think that baseline has to be taken care of with much more care, with much more clarity, and having that purity and honesty. We all have seen people will talk something behind your back, then they will create a situation for other two-person, and they will play the good role and putting something. And so this kind of actually education, when we talk about formal education, we do need formal education, but formal education cannot determine that you will become the best version of you. You cannot become a good human being. So that's why my fight, my journey all along, it was to emphasize on educating the mind instead of going by line by line.